Welcome to FMA 0146 Basic Mathematics. In this chapter, we are going to discuss chapter 1.2. In this chapter 1.2, we have the second part is surd. Okay, a surd is an irrational number, okay, of the form of surd, the root of n, where n is a positive integer and a is a real number which is not a perfect power of n. Okay, surd are left as root form because it is less accurate to change them to decimal. Okay, so that's why, for example, if you have a surd to 1.14 something, so means that if you left surd to, if you calculate using the calculator, the surd to will give you 1.4 1421352. If you approximate or you round down to two decimal point, so if you round down 414, so 41, then you will lose your accuracy for 0.0042135. Okay, so that's why our surd is always levied in the form of root. For example, the simplest one is set 2. Maybe you have set 5, set 9 for root 3, cube root for 9. Okay. And over here, it already said that a set must be an irrational number. So our set 9 is not a set. Okay, the square root of 9 is not a set because the square root of 9 is giving you a 3, 3 which is a rational number. So, how we represent our surd? Okay, the one some sort like with a root, with a roof, okay, or we call it as with a root. This is the sign is called reticle. The one inside the roof is called reticund, and the one on the leg, or we call it as a root, is called index. Okay, over here, they have a few of the rules of surd, which is quite similar to your indices. That is, when you have a surd xy, you can separate them to become surd x multiple surd y. Just like when you have an xy power of half, it's become x half y half. Okay, or the generally is xy power of n is xn, yn. So just now you change your n to become power of 1 over 2. So this is the rules of the surd. And for the division, also the same, surd x divided by surd y, you can write it as an surd x over y. Okay, and then if you see this one, the number 3, a surd x plus minus b surd x, you no need to think much. That is, you just assume your surd x as an y. So for example, when we have an ay plus by, so the similar terms over here, we factor out the y, we will be have a plus b. So now you replace back your your y as an surd x. So the similar terms over here is surd. So I have a surd x, a plus b. Okay, and remember that is you only have the two rules, the first and the second rules. Surd x, y, it can be separated to be surd x multiply surd y, not the surd x plus minus y. It is not surd x plus surd y, or not the surd x minus surd y, or okay, or the other way around. So please don't trap into the number for properties. Okay, and then after that, okay, and the number 5, actually this one, if you still remember, a plus b square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So means that for the number 5, you still have another one is plus minus 2 surd x surd y. Okay, so you need to expand according to the expansion of a plus b. Okay, something new about in the surd. compared to our indices is we sometimes you are requested to rationalizing the denominator, so means that they don't want to have a cert as a symbol in your denominator, so they ask you to rationalizing means that in our layman word is we just need to change or we want to kill our cert. So how we going to kill this surd is just by multiplying the conjugate of the surd. Okay, so the conjugate of the surd is, okay, it depends on how you write your which one you want to choose. Okay, if you have only one terms at the denominator, so for example you only have a surd x as a denominator, the above, let's say, is a y. So if you want to do the rationalizing for these terms and then just multiply with another set x, set x. So set x actually is, if you look at set x, power of 2 is x, power of 1 multiplied 2, so is your x. So this one is y set x over x, where my x is disappeared. Okay, sorry, my set is disappeared. That is the meaning of rationalizing the denominator. Okay, now if your denominator, this is the first case, the denominator have one cert. If your denominator have more than one term, let's say you have a cert x plus 2, let's say, and then the top is still y, okay, regardless of whether it's a 2 plus cert x or cert x plus 2 or cert x or like this, or the second one is the set x plus set z over y. They are the same, that is, you change one of the term. Okay, you change one of the term to the opposite sign. Okay, so it doesn't matter you want to change in the first one or the second one. So the simplest is we just aim our second operator is a plus, so we do the negative. From positive, we change to negative. Okay, so for this one are the same. If this is a negative, so I change it to the positive. Okay, so this is called the conjugate of the surd. Okay, so if you remember, when you want to multiply something, okay, means that this is the additional multiplying things. So you need to multiply a pair of the conjugate, denominator a pair up and down, so up and down multiplying the same conjugate. Why? Because these two conjugate, if you simplify, you will get 1. So the original multiplied 1 actually is the same question. Means that we are modifying our questions by multiplying with 1. But this one actually is formed by set x over 2 minus 2 divided set x minus 2, multiplying with the conjugate. Okay, what is the purpose of we are multiplying this conjugate? Okay, they are following the rules, that is, when I have an a plus b, a minus b, so I will have a square minus b square. So when I have a set x plus set y, multiplying with my conjugate set x minus set y, I will get x minus y, where my set disappeared. Okay, this is the main reason for the rationalizing. So that is your aim to do the multiplying with the conjugate. Okay, so let us look at example 6. Simplifying the following set using without using calculator. This is a bit like warming up. Okay, so let's say cert 18. Okay, cert 18 is by 2 times 8, and I can separate my cert 2 and cert 9 because I following cert xy equals to cert x multiply cert y, and then I know cert 9 is 3, so I have a 3 cert 2. And then if I have a cert 45 minus cert 5, so I do the same thing. 45 is 9 times 5, So I have a 3 surd 5 minus surd 5. And this one, as we know that is surd 5 are the same. So I have a 3 minus 1, so it's 2. This is one way how you look at the 3 surd 5 minus surd 5. Or the other way that you look at this question as you have 3x, okay? Because surd 5 it just seems like 3x. Minus x, you have 2x. What is your x? Your x is surd 5, okay? Then how about surd 15 minus surd 5? Okay, sorry, actually it's a surd 55. Okay, sorry, surd 55 minus surd 5. So, sorry. I think the question is correct. This one is a surd 15 minus surd 5. So I separated my surd 3. 3 minus 5 is 15 minus 5. And then 3 surd 5 minus surd 5. And now surd 5 are the same topic. So I factor out my surd 5. So I have a surd 3 minus 1. Please don't use calculator to press the surd 3 minus 1. Just leave your answer in the form of surd. And then the next question is, excuse me, surd 45 minus multiplied surd 5. So you just use your surd 45 multiplied surd 5. Then you separate it. Remember, surd 5 square actually is 5, so you have a 5 times 3 equals to 15. And uh, this is the question of rationalizing the following surd. So means that your aim is only want to kill or you want to rationalizing the surd at the denominator. We don't want have any surd symbol at the denominator. So let for example, you only have one surd at the denominator. So if you remember, we said that the conjugate of our surd is if this is a positive, you multiply with negative and then must multiply a pair. Reason is this one, when you simplify, this one is 1. Okay, so you cannot just multiply 1 at the denominator, because if you only multiply 1 negative surd 3 at the denominator, means that you are adding negative surd 3 into your questions. Okay, so now because of this minus can be simplified, so I only have this one. Okay, don't try to simplify this one. So it means that you will get back your original question, but the sign of negative we can neutralize. Okay, surd 3 multiplied surd 3. Okay, just remember anything square root power of 2 is always get back the one inside of it. Okay, so this one is 3. Then I have a 2 multiplied surd 3 is 2 surd 3. So this one is after rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so if we look at the B, question B, is 1 minus surd 2. I have more than one term like just now. So it's regardless whether you want to change the sign at the in front of one or, okay, it's not and, it's or the second symbol. So means the one here, I change it to become positive. So normally we find the conjugate is always taking the middle one. It seems like easier, but it's an just a preference only. So 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 is a pair, remember. And for the denominator, you no need to expand one by one. You just remember you have an A minus B, A plus B. So A, this is minus, this is plus, these are the same. So this will become A square minus B square. So for this case, it will become your A is 1, so 1 square, minus your B is 2, so it's 2 square. So surd 2 square is 2, 1 minus 2. So the denominator is negative 1. So I put my negative 1 in front. Do you need to expand? No. Just leave it as it is. Okay. So now see, I have 2 surd. Okay. Although you have a 2 surd, don't bother it. Just take the one in the middle operator from a positive change to negative and come with a pair. And the denominator always are the same because this is always A plus B, A minus B. So you have A square minus B square. And the up, don't touch it because this is one multiple. You just copy back at the numerator. The denominator will become 5 minus 2, that is 3. So I just factor out my 1 over 3, put outside surd 5 plus surd 2. Okay. Now let us look at the question D. If they're not allowing you to use calculator, so surd 2 over 3 plus surd 3. Okay, maybe some of us we will solve it in another way. Surd 2 over surd 3 plus surd 3. Then we just equate our denominator as a surd 2 plus surd 3 multiplied surd 3, and then divided by surd 3, and you have a 2 plus surd 2, sorry, 2 plus, sorry, this is not 2, 3 plus surd 2 over surd 3, and remember, the denominator still have a surd, so what you need to do is you need to multiply the conjugate, surd 3, so you have a 3, 1 over 3, then is a 3 plus, okay, or we can put surd 3 out here, 3 plus surd 2. Okay, just like this one. Okay, or the other way, that is we didn't equate the denominator, we do it separately. So the surd 2 over surd 3 we multiply with the conjugate, because we see that is the other second term surd 3 is without the denominator, so without the surd as a denominator, so we think it's the same. So we only multiply the first part with the conjugate. Okay, so surd 3, I just multiply with surd 3, and the denominator become 3. Then I have a numerator becomes surd 3 multiplied surd 2 plus surd 3. So then I need to equate our denominator. So 3, so I will multiply by 3. So then I factor out my surd 3, so I have this one. Or sometimes if maybe certain times we can leave our answer in this way. Okay, and then let us look at another type. Okay, the left terms, the first term I have a different denominator with my second term. Actually, we can just do it normally. That is, last time when you learn 1 over P minus 1 over Q, we equate our denominator by cross multiplying. So Q minus P over PQ. You can do so. Okay, but over here, I show you that is we are just multiply the denominator separately. So the first term is 3 minus 2. So I multiply the conjugate by changing the sign of the minus to become plus. So I multiply with a pair of the conjugate, 3 plus 2. And then the second one is 1 plus 5. I also multiply with a pair of conjugate by changing the plus become minus. Okay, so the denominator as usual, I will have an a square plus b square. And then the second one, okay, is it plus? Actually is a minus, sorry. So this one is a minus. Okay, and then the second one is a square minus b square. So is this one. Okay, then the denominator, since this is 1, I will just copy back 3 plus 2. And the second one is 5. I just put my 5, 1 minus 5. Okay, and then because I already uh, do it here wrongly, so this one should be 9 minus 2 is become 7. 3 plus 2 minus 1 minus 5 is 4. Okay, so it's a negative 4. So I neutralize it with here, so it become plus. So this one is 7. Okay, do you need to equate the denominator? Actually, no need, because the question is only ask us to rationalizing the following surd, means that we don't let the denominator with the symbol of the surd. Okay, and then for this last question of here is, if someone can notice, actually this is a plus b, a minus b. So if a plus b, a minus b, we just simply do the cross multiplication, then you will reach here. Okay, but if you couldn't notice that, doesn't matter. We're just doing a little bit longer than your friends who can notice this is a minus b, a plus b. So we just multiplying with the a minus b conjugate and a 1 plus b conjugate. Okay, and then if you multiplying, if you look at it, you will notice actually they are the same. So you will combine them back, and then 1 plus 2 minus 5 plus 5 surd 2. So the one without surd playing together, and then the one with surd playing together. And don't forget this is minus 1, so that's why we revert back, become 4 minus 6 surd 2. And the next one we are going to look at is logarithms.